Hello there, beautiful people, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Miss Danielle. Here on my channel, we talk about all things Jesus Christ. We have Bible studies, prayer, biblical teachings, words of encouragement. If that's something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button and let's get right into the video. So today, my beautiful people, we're going to be talking about signs that you are faithful. These are biblical signs. The title of this video is, Are You Faithful? So I have 5 signs that I want to share with you, and I want to remind you it's so important to be faithful in every aspect of your life because God blesses those who are faithful. When you're faithful, that's where the fruit is. And I have verses to back all of these signs up. So the first biblical sign that you are faithful is you have consistent actions. This is in 1 Corinthians 15:58, which reads, "Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain." God calls us to be faithful in our relationships. He calls us to be faithful to our work life, to our family life, to everything that we have going on. The Lord wants you to be faithful. This verse literally reminds us, and it says that you being faithful, you working hard, you being diligent, it's not in vain. Oftentimes, we think like, oh, these people, they got it the quick way, they did this or they did that, they cheated. But being faithful is where your fruit is going to come from. God wants you to be faithful. It says stand firm. It says let nothing move you. So when life is throwing you all these curveballs and obstacles, don't be fazed by it. Just remember that God is your God and he gives you the strength that you need to keep moving forward. So God wants you to be consistent in your actions. He wants you to keep coming back day by day, and he wants you to stick to it, whatever this may be, whether it's a goal or a relationship, your work life, whatever. Now, the second biblical sign that you are faithful is you serve God wholeheartedly. This is in Ephesians 6:7-8, which reads, "Serve wholeheartedly, as if you were serving the Lord, not people, because you know that the Lord will reward each one for whatever good they do, whether they are slave or free." Woo! This is so important. It says serve wholeheartedly, as if you were serving for the Lord. So this goes for everything we're doing. If you're serving in the church, if you're serving at work, if you're serving in your community, God wants you to show up every day like you're serving God. He wants you to look like you coming to serve God. He wants you to speak like you're serving God. He wants you to act like and treat others like you're serving God. He says wholeheartedly. He wants you to serve with your whole heart. That can be exhausting, but it also says in verse 8, it says, you know that God will reward you, whether you are a slave or you're free. And it's for the good that you're doing. A lot of us, we talk about, the adversity we face in life, and it's so true. But God says that if you're doing good, you're working hard, and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to have a reward. So remember that when you are struggling or, you're getting down about how hard things are, just keep going, keep serving, keep doing everything that you can to do it wholeheartedly. The third biblical sign that you are faithful is you have the fruits of the Spirit. This is in Galatians 5:22-23, which reads, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law." So again, the Lord wants us to be walking in the fruits of the Spirit. He wants us to do this to glorify him, but it's also going to benefit you as well, because when you have these things, you're going to reap good, because you reap what you sow. If you put good into the world, you're going to get good back. If you put bad out there, you're going to get bad back. God wants you to walk in the fruits of the Spirit to benefit others, and so that he can use you. So you want to be loving the people in your life. You want to be having joy in your life. You want to be bringing peace to yourself and others. You want to be, being steadfast and just staying strong and staying 10 toes down in your life. You want to be kind to other people. You want to do good to other people. And you want to be faithful. Faithfulness. Again, this video is called, Are You Faithful? Faithfulness is one of the fruits of the Spirit. And God says gentleness and self-control. God wants you to control yourself. I did a video on Monday about proof you lack self-control. So God wants you to control yourself. That is one of the fruits of the Spirit. And he says against these things there is no law. So these things are really important to the Most High God. Now, the fourth biblical sign that you are faithful is you can be trusted. You are trustworthy. This is in Luke 16:10 and 1 Corinthians 4:2, which reads, Luke 16:10 reads, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. The Lord wants those he can trust. People want to be around people they can trust. Nobody wants to be around somebody they got to watch all the time and they got to read your energy and figure out what you're thinking. Like, nobody wants that. And you should not be that type of person to others. The Lord wants us to be trustworthy. He says if you can be trusted with a little bit, that little bit you're making on your job, that little bit that other person is giving, that little bit of food you got, that little bit of money you got, that little car you got, that little house you got, whatever that little stuff, if you can be trusted with that, if you can pay your car payments on time, even though it's a little rinky-dink car, if you can pay your rent on time and you live in a little stanky nasty apartment, if you can continue to be faithful in your relationship and the person's not giving nothing, if you can handle and budget that little money that you get at your minimum wage job, God says that you will be able to be trusted with a lot more, and he wants to give it to you. He's just seeing if what you're gonna do with that little bit, because it says whoever's faithful in little will be faithful with much. But those of us who lie and be dishonest and cheat and steal and play games and lack the fruits of the spirit, we have the works of the flesh, you know what I'm saying, those of us who do that, he says you're not gonna be trusted with a lot either. So whatever you're doing and whatever place you're in your life, God is watching that to see what you're gonna do if he give you more, because he wants to. He's just trying to see what you're gonna do. The other verse was 1 Corinthians 4:2. That verse reads, "Now it is required that those who have been given a trust must prove faithful." So again, if God gives you something that he can trust you with, you got to be faithful with it. They go hand in hand, trust and being faithful. Trust is a big thing, and I want to remind you, you want to be a trustworthy person. You don't want to have fellowship with people who ain't trustworthy, because who knows what they'll do. God says trust and faithfulness goes hand in hand in this verse. So it's so important to be trustworthy, be able to be trusted. Now, the fifth biblical sign that you are faithful is you have favor. This is in Proverbs 3:3-4, which reads, "Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man." So look, the Most High God wants you to be faithful. He wants you to be able to have all of these things so that you can have favor in life. It says you're going to have a good name, not only with God, because God is the most important thing, having a good name with God, but you're going to have a good name with man too. People are going to look at you, they're going to be like, whoa, I love him, I love her, yes, we need her back, we need him to come back. Is he on the team today? Did he show up today? Is she coming? People are going to love you when you have faithfulness and love on you. You bind them around your neck. You put them on the tablet of your heart. You got to live by this. It's got to be something that's in you and on you everywhere you go. God wants you to be faithful. He wants you to walk in love. He wants you to walk in the fruits of the spirit. And he says that in his sight, you're going to have favor. Can you imagine having favor with the Most High God? When you have favor, things can happen for you that could not happen for anybody else. You're going to go into a place that you're not really that qualified. You know, you don't really have the resume that you need, but they're going to pick you. When you have favor, God will start giving you money out of nowhere. People will give you free things everywhere you go. When you have favor, God will work miracles in your life. Favor is important. And the way you get it is you be faithful. So being faithful is very important. I want to go through these signs really fast one more time. The first sign that you are faithful is you have consistent actions. Again, this is in 1 Corinthians 15:58. The second sign that you are faithful is you serve God wholeheartedly. This is in Ephesians 6:7-8. The third sign that you are faithful is you have the fruits of the spirit. This is in Galatians 5:22-23. The fourth sign is you can be trusted. This is in Luke 16:10 and 1 Corinthians 4:2. And the fifth sign is you have favor. This is in Proverbs 3:3-4. So look, I want to remind you that it's so important to be faithful. Make sure you share this video with someone you know. I love you. God bless you. And I'll see you next time.